Hi guys, how are you?
Hi,
Hi,
sir.
We are
How are
good.
you?
great. So sorry for getting late. Let's start.
Yes. We'll just begin in 2 more minutes. Actually, more people are joining.
Okay,
So,
no worries.
we'll just wait for 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
Madhu, are you there? Okay, I think let's begin. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir.
No worries. Yes. Hi.
Hi. So, I hope you're doing well, first of all. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for coming to our session. And we are streaming live through YouTube right now. So, thank you so much. Just one second.
Okay. Say. Okay. Yeah.
So sorry, sir, you were not audible. I think.
Acha, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Yes. Hi.
Okay. So let's begin. A young 14-year-old boy who began from Bechna Momos, then a marketing company, then hopped to selling paranthas and indulged in other food related businesses, has now taken Theka of all our coffee needs. Picture this. You are at a bustling market in India. The aroma of spices and freshly brewed coffee fills the air. That's exactly how Bhupinder Singh learned the art of roasting coffee and perfected his craft. Who doesn't want the traditional and authentic taste to be retained in our coffees, but still have the urge to try new flavors, different flavors? Well, this coffee is a unique blend of bold, robust flavors whose names will boost your serotonin for sure as well and makes you laugh. It's like a dance between the perfect amount of strength and a touch of sweetness. This coffee is rich, full bodied flavor, and affordable. It won't leave a hole in your pocket for sure. This is not just any ordinary coffee, but an artisanal blend sitting on a kiosk waiting for you. Good evening to everyone present here. I, Srija Chawla, Executive Board Member, Corporate Club, Sundarbans, IIT Madras, would like to welcome you to the Sundarbans Summit series. With Bhupinder, Theka Coffee, a premium quality coffee that promises to give you the perfect start to your day. Well, we'll make sure that if you aren't drinking a coffee right now, you go ahead and grab one after this session ends. Now, the founder of this brand is a passionate coffee connoisseur and has dedicated years to perfecting the art of coffee roasting. His mission is to provide coffee lovers with the finest quality coffee in the market that exceeds their expectations and delivers an unforgettable experience. So, without any further ado, let's deep dive into their entrepreneurial journey, which is quite inspiring for me. So, before we deep dive into the questions that I have for you today, sir, would you like to just give an opening remark?
Yes, hi. That's a great introduction that you've given about me. I think I don't need any more introduction post this, but that was actually one of the most fun introductions that I've got till date. I would like to inform you that I started at a very young age when I was 14. Post my experiences in life, I think I managed to fight failures pretty well. I have been able to build my businesses very fast, and I've been able to achieve what I've achieved in my life just based on my experiences and my will. So I think that's a very short intro that I like to give. That the only personality I have is of never giving up, and that's what has made me who I am today. Very soon you will be able to see that Theka Coffee will be present all across India and will be going global. We are on that mission. We are very honest about the mission that we are on, and very soon we'll be able to achieve that mission.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, I was checking my maps also when I got to know about your coffee, that where is it near me so that I can also locate and go and try one. But I could
Yeah,
not. Hopefully, when I'll be speaking next to you, it would be possible.
very soon,
Hoping.
I'm sure.
Okay. So first, we really wish to know how did you start from scratch? Your first idea, your inspiration behind it, and where did that jazba come from that led you to become this Bhayankar chill founder as we know it today?
Yes. So I think Theka Coffee originated actually from me. I was sitting in some place and I ordered a beer. It's very cool to hold a beer bottle, but it's not that cool to hold a coffee glass because one of my friend who was sitting right beside me ordered a coffee glass and that coffee glass was getting soggy. So I really found it very amazing that all across India, the only way coffee is being served is in a soggy glass, and that was not very fun. Second most important thing is if you go any place where it's a freshly brewed coffee served, it's all Italian concepts. There is no Indian coffee chain. There is nothing that does not intimidate you because when you go to a coffee shop, you're majorly always shocked that what is in the menu over there, Americanos, lattes. You don't understand that, right? So we wanted to make sure we give something very common, generic to people like Palangtor Next Level. Palangtor is a very strong coffee. Next level is a medium coffee. Coffee की जवानी is a light coffee. And वही करने के लिए that's what I made a vision that okay, I want to make sure that I give something very easily available to people. Yeah, and the brand is very simple ultimately, but we gave a freshly brewed coffee at a very affordable price in a cool manner. So those were the ideologies in the initial days, and ultimately it has led us to where we are.
Okay, so I think yes, that's confusing for me also because I am not a much of a coffee person. I like to drink chai, but whenever I go and have a coffee, I'm always confused about what to order, and with such interesting names, I'm intrigued to go and try these as well. So
Right,
thanks for the insights, and I'll
right.
definitely try it. So the food industry is a very difficult industry to crack, and especially the beverage unit. So do you think that you identified the right pain points and you maybe targeted them, and that's why you were able to make a breakthrough, or what was that point that led to this breakthrough?
So do you want me to be honest with you or you want me to lie?
No, I want you to be completely honest.
So honestly, it's not a challenging business. It's a very easy business. I think all the businesses have challenges. And ultimately you're doing a business to solve challenges. That's what you are in here for. So I don't think any industry has specific challenges. It's your will game, it's not your skill game. Ultimately, if you have the will to achieve anything, you will be going after it. So I personally found food industry very easy. I find beverage industry even more easier. The only thing is I kept my basics strong. I did not complicate my situations. I'm not selling 25 coffees in my menu. I'm selling 10 coffees. So for making those 10 coffees, I only have 5 products in my inventory. So ultimately, my operations are very lean, systems are very smooth and simple. So it's not a very tough thing to do that I'm achieving. And it's more of a video game, to be very honest. I'm playing a video game. There is a challenge that comes in. I solve that challenge. If I'm not able to solve it, I hire somebody to help me to solve it. So we are a team trying to achieve something, and ultimately we are achieving it. And yes, if you talk about any other industries, I'm sure there are a lot of challenges, but that's what you enter into business for. You enter into business to make sure that you have the capability to solve those challenges. If you give up or you find those challenges tough, you're not made for business ultimately.
Yes, sir, and absolutely, because business at the end of the day is you solving the challenges. It's nothing
Exactly.
else.
True.
So that makes complete sense. And so I've heard about the unique brewing structure or the brewing process that you have, and it's, I think, cold brewed coffee that you are making.
Exactly.
So I think that also adds a lot to the value that you are generating for the customers or the consumers.
Right.
And I know that it's made from 100% Arabica, which is the most premium coffee, you know.
Exactly. True.
So how do you think that the designing and the supply chain part came together, and this, you could have scaled more due to this thing? So how would you
Right.
justify that?
Look, I think it's not that I knew the whole structure in my mind. I made roadmaps and I kept following it. I did not have a 2, 3 year plan. I just had a 1 week, 10 days plan. I had a goal that, okay, I want to sell coffees all across India. Now, how do I achieve it? I'm solving it every day. So if you talk about logistic, it's a huge challenge. It's not an easy challenge. It's a very big problem ultimately. But we are able to manage solving it every day. You talk about coffee being produced. So I have 22 kitchens in India at this point of time, making sure the quality of coffee being maintained at those 22 kitchens. They go back to your knowledge and skills that you've developed over the period of time. How much have you learned and how are you able to build your systems and processes? But then all the big challenges, all these expansions, they happen over the period of time. You just have to make sure you have a goal, and every day you're trying to reach that point, and that's what we are doing. So there was nothing as a roadmap that was created by me, honestly. We are just flowing with the wind. We have a goal for sure, but some days it's on the right side, some days it's on the left side.
Okay, so you were basically following the go with the flow kind of approach,
Exactly.
and you took
Exactly.
one day at a step. Great,
Exactly.
great. That's led you to what you are today. So what's the best advice on the entrepreneurial side that you would like to, provide to us as young entrepreneurs? Because you yourself have started so young, and so what's that one advice you would like to give us?
Yeah, I think just go out and start working as quick as possible. Just don't waste time. I also feel a lot of intelligence creates a lot of problems also, because a lot of intelligence keeps you into that zone of keeping on thinking and solving problems, and ultimately you don't reach up to the solution very quickly. You waste a lot of time. So according to me, I have followed one rule in my life when I'm coming to anything, and that's what I always mention. If you're 70% ready, I'm not saying don't be ready at all, but if you're 70% ready, go and execute it. 30% will happen over the period of time. You just cannot keep solving everything on pen and paper or in your mind. It has to be executed, because execution is even tougher. So solving a problem on pen and paper and designing a plan is very easier, but then when you have to implement it, you have to be implementing it immediately. The more amount of days you're wasting in thinking, the more amount of revenue you're losing ultimately. Even if selling 1000 rupees worth of product on the first day, and then you see 30 days you have sold, your revenue is 30,000 rupees, but those 30 days when you were planning things, you lost that revenue. So I always feel if you're 70% ready, just go for it, don't stop.
So I think everybody has to carefully listen to this advice, because that's an advice I haven't heard from anybody, and
Yes,
that's also the, I think, the push that you want when you're starting with your first step. Because I got a lot of questions from the participants over here that we are not
right,
able to take the first step, and that's the major part. I think that's the main part. And
right.
then, as you said, we all go through the flow and we take one step at a
Step
time.
at a
And
time, exactly.
yes. Okay, so a lot of times in life people do fail, but
Right.
लेकिन कहते हैं कि गिर के उठना ही सबसे बड़ी जीत है. So any comments on this, and you as an entrepreneur, how have you made this come true? What were your failures or maybe success that led you to where you are today?
So I again personally don't find failures as failures. I find fruits in failures is what I always say. The moment I failed in my life, I was the first one laughing on it. Today also I can fail. If you can, I don't know if you can see, but there is a 100 crore target on top of me.
Yes.
I keep looking at that target all the time. Now it's not necessary. I want to achieve it in 1 year. What if I don't achieve? But ultimately, my goal is that I'll work for that 100 crores or else I'll not work. That's first thing. Now, if I'm not able to achieve it this year, I'll achieve it next year. But I had put my ethical efforts to achieve that goal. If I've done that, I know I'll be 100% confident even if I lose, because I tried to achieve something very big and then I failed. That failure is actually success. It's not a failure. If I'm sitting home, I'm picking up phones, I'm watching movies, and then I'm failing, that failure is deserved by me ultimately. So I personally feel there are no failures as such. There is nothing like failures. It's always a success that you get out of any kind of action that you take, any kind of effort that you put. If you don't put efforts, only then you fail in life.
Correct, correct. And I think I've seen your 100 crore mark on your office door as well. I was
Yes,
watching
it's
a
all
video.
across.
Yes, it's all across. So I think it's the vision also that's important to keep in mind, and just focus on that vision and move towards it. And I think success, or as you said, even failures will come, but I think it's upon us how we take it and move further.
So you need to be honest and ethical, is what I always mention. If you're ethically not working, you don't deserve success. Simple. So if you're working for it, you will get it. If you will not get it today, you'll get it tomorrow. But you need to be very ethical and honest about yourself. That have you put the amount of effort that's required for you to reach there? Just don't sit and have goals and dreams and write visions. You really, really want to do it. Your heart is into it. You really will put all the hard work that's important to achieve it. Only then I think you should have a vision board, or else it's of no point.
Yes, that's definitely a point to self interpret and self reflect, most importantly. Okay, so we have talked about failures and success that comes as coming to Shark Tank. I would rather see it as a blessing now, because
Right.
I think जो आपने खड़ा करना था 6 महीने में वो आपने already कर लिया है. So,
Right.
but I would like your views on what you felt at Shark Tank, and just give us a before and after view.
So I think Shark Tank is a big blessing. I think it's a great platform to perform on. You should be there if you have an idea. Please, I mean, I always suggest this to everybody who's trying to have an idea and he's a little shy or she's a little shy to be there. You should 100% put the effort in. But I always say, I don't know, again, I'll be honest with you rather than lying about it. When I was going inside Shark Tank, it was not me performing for that 10 minutes. It was my whole 15 years of experience performing in that 15 minutes. So the moment I was about to enter into Shark Tank, I was the most relaxed person all across. I think the whole audience, the whole team of Shark Tank itself was a little shocked at how is he so just normal about it, because I did not go there for funding. I did not go with the vision that okay, I want money from these people. I just went there to make sure that can I perform on this platform? Can I even talk? Do I have that confidence inside me to stand in front of all these people and speak about things or my business? Because if I'm confident about my business, only then I'll be able to talk. Ultimately, I've lived my life always in one with one goal, and that is nobody makes you, not even today. So it's not going to be Shark Tank or anybody else who's going to make you. It's not going to be sharks who are going to make you. It's not going to be your partners in future or any of your mentors who are going to make you. It's only you who can do it. So ultimately, even if you get funding or you get support from people or you don't get support, if you want to do it, you will 100% do it.
And I think when you start doing your best, people also see that in you and they start
Yeah,
investing.
100%.
Then you don't have to
100%.
Yes, then you don't have to worry about these things because these things will
So
automatically
opportunities
come
need to
together.
knock your door or break your door. You should not keep on going to opportunities. ऐसा काम करना चाहिए कि लोग पागल हो जाए. मतलब they should be lining up at your office all the time that see I want to meet you and all. You should, if you go and just keep blabbering about your success to people, I think that is not success.
Yes, sir, absolutely. And I think when I was trying to analyze the story of your journey and Theka Coffee, and so I was trying to interpret what went, what was the good side of it, what was the improvement that you had made over these years. And I think the two words screaming at me through the screen were consistency and the will to never give up. Like your LinkedIn profile also has that never, ever, ever, ever give up. So I was quite charged up by that because we all have missions in life, be it entrepreneurship, personal, professional, and I think the will to never give up is the real deal to crack it.
100%. That's true. So this never ever give up does not come immediately. I can't say that tomorrow you will wake up and you will be in that attitude that okay, I'll never give up in my life. It comes after a lot of struggles that you've seen in your life. I think that's why I just mentioned just go out and start working. What will happen is over the period of time you will build yourself internally very strong. So see, business is business. It's just one part of your life. Then there is your personality also, which does other things. It keeps relations. It's a family life that you have. You have your mental state. You go out and party. You go out and play sports. And then there is business. You get it? So you can't just keep associating yourself always with business and failing in business. You should always make sure that your other aspects of life is also very nice. So if you talk about my past and present, when I was failing or I was rich or I was poor or I was having nothing or I'm having everything, myself has been always constantly been same. I've been equally happy. I've lived my life always the same. There is no change in my life, I'm telling you. So it is always like that. Ultimately, if you build a life like this, there is no scope of you giving up because then business is just an activity. It's not something that you're going out and you are. It's something that's emotionally impacting you every day. That oh, I did not make profit today. I can't sleep. ऐसा नहीं है. There's other things in your life that you need to also keep happy.
Yes, I think people do confuse it because they don't know that work-life balance भी कुछ होता है. We need to
Exactly.
create a normal balance between our work and our life as a whole.
100%.
So I think that, and when that is right, or you have mastered the art of it, that comes with time, and you have the right people in your life, I think that comes as support for your work as well.
That's
So
true.
that is a blessing. And so, sir, moving on, what's the one point which felt like a eureka moment for you that हाँ अब तो हो जाएगा अब यहीं से बस expansion ही expansion है we are just going to
ऐसा
move
moment नहीं
forward.
आता. There's nothing like that. There's no
Okay.
moments like that, honestly. It just happens. If I personally feel that one thing happens, and that is prior to me going to Shark Tank, I was actually failing pretty bad. It was very bad situation. Tab tak I was not even selected for the audition. There was no call from them. There was nothing like that. I did not even know that I'll be going to Shark Tank. But I don't know why, but I started waking up early. That was only one single achievement I achieved that moment. So, very small achievement. I can't wake up very early. I'm very lazy in that particular segment, but I started achieving that particular part for 15, 20 days. When I woke up 20th day on 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or sometimes at 5 a.m. because I had beaten my old self who was waking up very late. I felt a different amount of confidence. I was like, I'm going to kill it this time. I will achieve it anyhow because I had beaten my own self in at least one segment. That made my confidence very high. And the moment I increased my confidence, immediately I was in a circle of success, 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 success. So I will not say the opportunities, there's a eureka moment of an opportunity. I think it was within me itself. I just took one small step, achieved it, that increased my confidence for bigger steps in life.
I think that's a good key to the confidence that we need for especially for our
Yeah,
first step so that we can make the breakthrough and move
exactly.
ahead.
Small things, they actually value a lot. We don't value them.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, I agree. And so, last question is, what are the highest and lowest points in your life? Because we do have that in our life, in terms of business. So, can you share yours?
Again, I'll give you an alternate viewpoint of my ideology. My highest point in my life was when I was struggling in life because I was learning a lot. I loved my life then. So when I was 14, 15, I had no money. The only basic target was go out and earn money. That was how simple my life was. So every day I could just go out and I could just do anything and make money and come home. When I had a lot of money, because 21, 22, I was a very settled man. Ultimately, when I was 21, 22, I already had my own car, my own house, all those things were very well settled. I had a very monotonous life, and the things were always the same. That was my lowest point of my life because there was nothing new coming my way. I was just doing the same thing that I was doing, sitting on a computer, working and making money. So my thoughts are a little different. I loved my life when it was on the lowest side because I learned everything that I have today during my lowest phase. I did not learn anything when I was at my top.
And I think everybody here would also agree that settling, or as you said, that in your 20s, in your early 20s, 2021, you were quite settled and you
Exactly.
had struggled a lot, I would say, that you had that kind of experience to
Yes.
again build what you have today.
Yes.
So I think
100%.
that's great. That's amazing. Okay, so we have officially come to an end of discussion for my questions, and we'll be opening the floor for a fun Q&A session with the students over here. And you can mention the questions in the chat. I'll take it up after a fun rapid fire with sir right now. So I would like to call it coffee seconds. So if you have your coffees with you, grab them as we play this little game.
Yes.
So let's begin. Sir, are you ready?
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Okay, so you can just answer in a few words or one word. It's up to you. Okay, so first question is, did the idea of serving coffee in a beer bottle hit the jackpot?
100% it did.
Okay, what's the key to getting ideas to entrepreneurship? Just one key.
Just go out and get exposure as much as you can.
Okay, what's the backbone of Theka Coffee?
Me.
Great, great. Describe your coffee in one word.
Again, my personality.
Okay, are there more varieties of mouth-watering coffees lined up for us?
100% very soon.
Great, hopefully. When was the very first coffee that you sold and what was the flavor?
I think 17 years ka main tha and I sold it to my mom and it was a very medium based coffee. She did not like it. It was my first coffee I ever made.
But I think serving it to your mom made it, great.
100%. Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that is a feeling that is good.
Yes.
Okay, so now time for some fun ones. So, what is your favorite flavor?
Not like that. I used to like chocolate, but now I'm not enjoying it anymore. It keeps
Okay.
changing.
Okay. Are you a coffee person or a chai person?
Chai, chai, chai and
The
biscuit.
same. Okay. When did you drink your coffee today?
I did not. I only drink chai.
Okay, no coffee.
No, I don't like it a lot. I like selling it.
Okay, great, sir. And I think that's what's required from our side also. So you keep selling, we'll keep drinking it. Okay,
Yes.
what's your favorite side snack for coffee?
Uh, Again, I don't like coffee, but yeah, with tea, I love biscuits, Parle G. Very simple. I eat that every morning.
Okay, Parle G is the best, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the best part about coming to this talk show?
I think it was a very important talk show because ultimately it comes from a good institute, IIT, and personally, I'm not an educated man. I love talking to people who have done some education, and I also have this one goal because I always feel people who are very educated and very intelligent. What happens? They keep thinking a lot, and they are not able to. They are always able to perfect things. It's a good habit. It should be done. But I have my experience says just go out and do it, and because you're intelligent, if you have my 15 or 20% of skill also, you will skyrocket. That's what I think.
That's a good takeaway, and that was indeed breathtaking. I had so much fun in this round with you, sir, and I hope the same for you. And
Thank
now let's take things a notch up by letting the students take over this session. I'll
you.
read out the questions and which
Yeah.
sir can answer accordingly.
Yes.
Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, so we have a question. So please have a spotlight on franchisee model of business in terms of scalability, or is it best during growing phase?
So I think franchisee modeling is one of the toughest things to do in India, especially. You need to be very well educated. You need to draft your educated with franchising. You need to get all the knowledge in before you start franchising. Because if you make a mistake, you're playing with people's money. Don't do that. You need to have a proper business plan. You need to have a proper business modeling. You need to have a very good agreement made, good policies made. Learn, and only then go into franchising, or else you will just flop yourself and you'll flop the people's money also.
Okay. And I think that's very important to keep in mind when you're starting as well. So,
Yeah.
and we have a question. The market is changing rapidly. So, what are your comments on that, especially for food industry?
I don't think it's changing personally. It's the same. My Palang Tod is still Palang Tod since 5 years. There's nothing like that. If you like to sell what you're selling, you're honest and ethical about what you're selling, and you're doing good things on the background in the kitchen, your product is 100% going to get sold. So coffee will always remain coffee. There's nothing big it's going to happen.
Even if the market is very dynamic as it is.
100%. Because what will happen? The people will just bring up Ferrero Rocher shakes in coffee. That's the max. But how many people will drink it? Ultimately, chai mein ilaichi aa jayegi, but chai to chai hi rahegi. That's the idea.
Correct, correct. Okay, next is what's the story behind Theka Coffee name? So is it an inspiration from coffee, or is it because of a like Punjabi name? So
Yeah, it's a balance of both worlds. Ultimately, those were words in my common language. I keep using next level all my life. Oh, you're next level. Oh, this is next level. How next level is this? So next level came in. Palang Tod, no, Coffee Ki Jawani and next level, all three are roast profiles basically. So coffee ka bean jo hota hai, wo roasting hota hai uska. Palang Tod coffee is a very dark roasted coffee, and it's actually a very strong coffee. That's why it's named as Palang Tod. When you talk about next level is a medium roast coffee, which is a level above normal level. That's why it's named as next level. And Coffee Ki Jawani is a light roast, which is actually a Jawan roast of coffee. So that's why
okay,
it's named as Jawani.
nice, nice. It's
Yes.
quite interesting, and now I'm thinking of buying a coffee soon. Okay,
Yes.
so we also have a question. How did you first form your core team, and what does that team mean to you now? Are there still people who were with you in 2017 or 16 when it started?
Yes, 100%. I think the moment I started, all my core team are still with me. Anyone who wants to join the business, they can join the business.
I think Sir has paused. Is it for me only?
Brand exists, makes
It's so
everyone,
everyone.
and we are trying to achieve something big, and everyone is trying to achieve. They are trying to make their own names ultimately. Marketing head is very happy. His marketing is doing great. Operations heads are happy because they are building the business from ground level. So that's how it is.
I think that's a much more bigger achievement in my eyes, because when your
Exactly.
team is together, that's a kind of a family that you have built. And when
100%.
they are together with you, even at every stage of your business, so I think
Yes.
that's the most important part.
Yes.
Okay, so sir, are big brands like Starbucks or CCD your direct competitors? If you can just tell us about your competitors in the market.
So again, as I said, my brand is my personality. There's no competition to me. So there's no competition to my product. I don't look into competitions. That's how I have done business. But I think it's important if you think that way. If your thoughts are that you need to analyze your competitors because your product demands that. My product does not demand that. There's nobody selling coffees that is 100% Arabica and at 125 rupees. So I personally don't look into it. As I said, I love what I do. I'm just doing it because I love my product. And if I love my product, I will be able to sell it because I'm good at sales also.
Yes. And so, given the AI gold rush, should we stick strictly to the online startup model, or what's your take on a hybrid model, or the any kind of model that we are going forward with for
So
our business?
I personally feel models, if you're talking about business models, right? So
Business
business
model.
models are built by you. It's a very simple thing. You need to keep thinking, analyze your goals. Ultimately, what's your final goal? Where do you want to reach finally? And then break it down. And then when you will be breaking it down, it's always better when you write it with a pen and paper. I think that's the best thing to do, because when you're doing that, you are able to have the time to imagine things, and you are able to solve your own challenges in your mind. So that's how I do it. I don't use any technology, zero, only pen and paper.
Okay. And what about the investors? Like, you might have some investors on board. So how can we approach the investors and impress them so that they are able to fund?
So
be
I
able to
think
pay.
investors के लिए there's a lot of platforms, accelerator programs होते हैं. There's a lot of incubation. I'm very against incubation personally because they give you a lot of gyan. Ultimately, I don't like that a lot. Everything is available on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook these days. Google. So just go out, look for investors, angel investors, and all. If you get incubated, you waste a lot of time. That's my thought. So don't do that. Just go out, have a if I would be you and I'm young and I have an idea, I would go on LinkedIn, post a video about me that, okay, this is what I'm planning to do. I need people to help me. I'll make a business plan, start shooting that video and business plan to all across investors. I'll search them on Google, email them all of them day in, day out. So, 500, 1000 emails go out. You're into the rhythm of getting things done because you'll start getting replies from few people.
Okay, and following up with this, do you think that are you planning to scale this business abroad also, a foreign
Yes, we're
ambition
launching
that
in
you want
Dubai
to
in
have?
4 months. So I think in next 4 to 5 months, we'll be in Dubai.
Great, great. That's great, and all the best for it.
Thank you.
Um, Next question is, how did you manage to scale this business and maintain the IP of the product, since it's such a unique thing you're doing, and what makes it sustainable throughout whatever changes that you're planning to bring?
So my business model is based on multiplication. It's based on scalability. We are in hub and spoke model, which means one production unit does the production every day. Fresh coffee is made, and then there are spokes, which are selling points where we are selling coffees. Ultimately, I think that's the next future of food industry because hub and spoke ke bina, it's very tough to survive as fixed expenses are very high. Big cafes, it's very tough to survive big cafes. That's why when you see a cloud kitchen setup, now a kitchen is having 10 kitchens inside it with different brand names. That's how business is evolving in food industry. So in offline business, I think hub and spoke model is the way to move ahead. That's going to be the future. It's good that I am riding the wave in the initial phase because that will help me. And scalability is everything. Diversify, multiply, and scale it up as quick as possible. The faster you scale it up, the faster you can take your trend towards upward.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I've heard about your system that you were talking about, that you have kiosks around a certain radius and a central cafe
Yeah.
where people can go and have the drink. So
Yes.
I think that is a very unique model, and that's a great idea for the one who asked the question.
Thank you.
Um, yes. And so anybody else has any other questions? Harshit, do you want to ask something?
Yeah, I want to ask something to sir. Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Hi,
Please
Harshit.
go ahead.
Tell me.
Please go ahead.
So, talking about success in business, here I want to know your perspective on how much personal branding, and connections, or I just say too many friends are necessary.
Too many friends are not necessary, but yeah, too many connects are very important. Connect means you need to be in a circle who are successful. You need to meet people, who are achieving some big things in life. But you need to know who is your right circle. If, for example, I am building a business and I go make circle with soccer players, it's not going to help me, right? So you need to be making sure that you're in the circle of right people, and ultimately that is going to benefit you somewhere. So yeah, connections are very important. That's what I can tell you.
Right.
And personal branding is what you asked me. Personal branding nowadays is very important. So back in the day, it was not a
Mm,
very important thing to do. But yeah, don't waste your time on personal branding and don't build a business. Build a business, and when you have time, then waste your time on personal branding. It's not important to just do personal branding and not build a business. That's a scary situation actually.
oh,
Okay.
great
And
insight. Thank you.
yeah, thank you. How can young founders make their financial life easy while running a startup? Because we know that startup takes a toll on your financial life as well. So, any
I don't know
advice?
where you get that knowledge. As I have not faced it personally. I mean,
Okay.
see, understand if, for example, today I'll give you basic knowledge. I need 2,000 rupees per day to survive, right? So I'll
Okay.
not go out and try to earn like 1 lakh rupees immediately. First target is I'll go out, build a startup that will give me 2,000 rupees to survive myself, eat food, have shelter, those things. Once I've achieved that, then my target will be okay. Now I want to achieve 10,000 rupees per day income. That kind of a startup, whatever you guys want to build. But I think what happens is a lot of times people they don't have basic necessities and then they go all in and they say I'll build 100. That can't happen. First, you need to make sure that your basic necessities are satisfied. Pehle utna startup. So when I started Theka, I just wanted to run my family, and that is what my thought was. So I just started a coffee cart without any expenses. I just invested 3 lakhs. Then it became successful. I thought, okay, now I'll scale it up. That's how it became a startup.
Okay, and so following up, I have a personal question
Yeah.
that talking in terms of investments, since you started very early, it might be different for you and different for us when we are planning to basically get into the corporate life, earn some money, and then maybe start because we need some investments or because there would be responsibilities. So, any advice on that front,
For the financial side,
financial side?
so I actually did not get your question very right. Are you trying to say how to enter with your finances into the business?
Yes. Enter like suppose if I'm at the age of 35 and I wish to stand ahead and go for a startup. I wish to make that idea a big one, but
Right,
I have other responsibilities as well.
right.
So maybe I cannot financially be so strong at that front. So how do I begin at that point in time?
So find a way to, startup is not always that you go out and build a startup. Even if you give 2 hours a day to that business, then keep goals which are realistic. It can't happen that you're giving 2 hours to a business and you want 100 crore business. It can't happen. So ultimately, even if, see, startup is going to be a startup, even if it's earning you 2 lakh rupees or 2 crore rupees, right? At least you have started at some point. Once you've started investing 2 hours into that business, you've started building something in life, you're hustling something on the sides other than what you're doing. Ultimately, if it's giving you some success, you will automatically drawn into it completely, and then slowly and gradually have a bigger dream. Just don't have the biggest of dreams and don't work for it. That's not right. Be realistic. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, and I think that's very important also to have some goals, have a mission, but to be realistic also. So I think
Exactly.
that carves your part down. Okay, Anshuman, do you want to unmute and ask?
Anshuman, hi.
Yes, you can go ahead.
Yeah.
I think you can come back to him later. Sanitya also has a hand.
Yeah, Sanitya, please go ahead.
Yeah.
हाय दो मिनट मैं वीडियो ऑन कर लेता हूँ ओके
Hi.
एम आई विजिबल
Yeah, you are.
ओके हाय सर
Hi.
आपकी वीडियो शार्क टैंक पे बहुत देखी थी ट्रेंडिंग हुई थी okay thank you okay so I'm from Recitech and we are building a startup so we are transforming human hair into plant based fertilizer तो बालों से फर्टिलाइजर बना रहे तो इसमें वी हैव डेवलप्ड द प्रोडक्ट बट इसको सेल करने में दिक्कत आ रहा है क्या कि वी टारगेटेड अर्बन गार्डनर्स
Right.
बट इसको नर्सरीज के थ्रू सेल कर रहे हैं और गिफ्टिंग पार्टनर करने की सोच रहे थे हम तो सर आप इस पे कुछ बता सकते हो लाइक कैसे ऑडियंस तक पहुंच सकते हैं हाउ टू सेल आवर प्रोडक्ट ई कॉमर्स के थ्रू वी ट्राइड सेलिंग बट उसमें amazon का FBA लिया था सो इट कॉस्टेड अ बिट हाई तो थोड़ा वैसा आप बता सकते हो
Ground level पे, have you tried like approaching nurseries and all on ground level? Did you do that?
या वी हैव
So what are
ट्राइड
they saying? What are the inputs?
वहां पे इनपुट ये है कि एक तो उनको ट्रस्ट का इशू आता है सबसे पहले नर्सरीज को उसके लिए वी हैव secondary research we quote that and we show some newspaper cuttings and all that stuff but then they have this issue कि इतनी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज चल रही हैं like if go into this stuff how will you beat them and retail as a retailer उनको confidence कैसे आएगा तो उस पे आप क्या कहना चाहते हो
Yeah,
Like,
I personally feel sales is about you selling yourself to them. You're selling honesty and trust to them. So immediately, if they are not able to trust you, because first when you're meeting them, they're not buying your product, they're buying you, right? So I
yes
think somewhere down the line, the way you are making them trust or believe is not up to the mark. So I personally feel you should work on that if you can. And sales में ऐसा होता है कि you should be able to sell anything to anybody. That's what sales is. You have to go with a positive mindset. I'm not getting into what you're doing as a business. I'm just talking to you about how you should sell. Be very honest about your product, be very open about your product, and be prepared to go out and sell. So it's like 1,000 doors you knock, one person buys. That's how it happens when you're in the initial phase. It can't happen that you've gone to 50 or 100 doors and 5 or 10 will buy. It is not possible, or else everybody would have been a great salesman. But when you will be able to sell 1,000 darwazo ke baad ek insaan ko, you will crack it. You will understand what is wrong in your thing that you're doing on the background, how to improve it, or maybe what you have to speak to the people to gain their trust and honest, that they feel that you're honest about what you're doing. Right?
Right.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you,
you.
sir. And are there any challenges that you face in the supply chain side of the business, or are there any potential challenges that you are preparing or prepared for to go
Always there,
global?
yes. It keeps on coming. Every time there's a new challenge that comes up, we are trying to solve them. Logistic is going to be the biggest problem for especially a perishable product, obviously. So I think it will be a huge problem. It will always remain a huge problem. But then slowly, gradually, it does get solved. I have not faced a challenge in my life till date which has not been solved, and I've given up on it. ऐसा हुआ नहीं है मेरे साथ personally.
Great.
Yes. I think Anshuman has a question.
Yes, Anshuman, please go ahead.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Hi, Bhupinder.
Hi.
Sorry, I think you guys weren't able to hear me just a while ago.
No.
Anyway, so before this event, I was reading an article about your life. I don't know if you guys have been over this, but about how you had a Momo shop when you were 14 or
Right.
15, and how you started with one and then you scaled to 3. Can you talk about that a little? How that happened? I think that was your beginning
Right.
in the QSR business, right?
Exactly. So when I was doing Momo's business, at that moment, I was not trying to build a brand. I did not even know what a brand is. Ultimately, I did not know, what I'll do with it in the future. In that moment, I was coming from a humble background in my past. So I just wanted to make sure that I need to survive. I need to eat food. So for eating food, I had to sell something. The best bet I got was selling momos because there was no momos available in Ahmedabad. So I got a Delhi guy because that was easier for me to do. I have a house in Delhi. So I got a guy from Delhi, and again, as you see, it's built from your experiences. Because I have an experience of Delhi, I know that there is momos over there. I bought it to Ahmedabad because I stay over here. And then I started a very small cart on the streets where I was selling momos. That helped me survive the business, survive my life. I'm sorry. Then I wanted to scale up something in life. I entered into IT segment. I did a lot of business development and all in IT segment. And post that, I've done a lot of food industry joints, obviously. But then came the time when I wanted to build a brand, because ultimately, by the time you're going to be 29, 30, you need to have something that you've built in your life. So
Right.
that's what I tried when I was 22, 23. I started building Theka and started planning to build a brand. And that's how I've reached where I am today.
I think you wanted to build a brand because with a brand you can differentiate yourself, and if you're selling momos, you're a commodity, and people can go to
I would have
any
made a momos ka brand also. I just did not know how to make a brand in that age. मतलब
Right.
ऐसा था कि I did not know there is a brand because I was 14. I don't know that ऐसे design करते हैं, branding होती है, creativity होता है. I did not know. I was just selling momos. So that was a very important learning also, because as I was able to sell momos on the street, when I was successful, I was able to sell coffee on a cart also, being on the street. So, breaking those stereotype mentalities was very easy because I did it in the past. And I can again do it today. Even if I fail again, the best thing I can do is go back to the street and sell something and just be happy.
Right. And I read you were, as a 14-year-old, making 4,000 rupees a day. I think that's great money.
Exactly.
Back in the day.
Such a good money.
Yeah. That's
Having that
not
life.
too bad for someone who left school, right? You left.
Yeah.
You left.
100%.
Yeah.
So I was not a part of a school, no colleges ultimately, but when your friends are not having enough amount of pocket money, you're making 4,000 rupees. That's a good amount of money that you get. So I've
Right.
not been having any kind of financial troubles since the time I have started working in my life. And I personally feel money is actually very basic to earn in life. You should, run behind successful things, happiness and all those things. Money will 100% come. It's not a very big thing to have.
Thank you. So nice talking to you, Bhupinder.
Same here. Thank you.
And I think it's the experience that counts more than education or your
100%.
background. Because nowadays we see that companies have also started giving more preference to experience more rather than just education.
Agreed. I agree.
So there are a lot of questions regarding recruitments at Theka Coffee. I think everybody wants to join it at some point, including me.
Please
So
come.
if you could just yes, if you could just throw some light on it.
So for recruitment at Theka Coffee, that's what you're saying. Just come. We are open for a lot of work that I can give. I don't have personally working anybody for me. Anybody wants to join as an assistant to me, please come. I would love to work with you people. Baki, just mail anything, just write a message to us. I'm very approachable. You go to my Theka Coffee's page on Instagram, you press a call ka button, it comes to me directly. You can call me if you want to work at Theka. I'll connect you with my HR and we can start.
So this is my personal experience since the last few months I've been trying to contact you, that you were very approachable. Even
Yeah.
on if I say that I got a response from you and then we took
Yes.
things up. So I think that's a very good thing to do, and it shows that you are a very genuine and kind person. So thank you for that. If there are any other questions, please put it on the chat.
Yeah, can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, please.
Hello, Bhupendra. This
Hi.
is Varun from IIT Madras BS online degree program.
Yes.
I have question regards your business. So what do you think? You are profitable and sustainable?
100%. Why would I do business if I'm not profitable?
And one more question. How do you grow your business? And what is the aim of Theka?
So
Right?
currently, to Theka ka aim ye ki we want to do 100 crore turnover, not a valuation. I'm not a valuation guy. So we have just unlocked 100 crore valuation. I want to do 100 crore turnover because I'm a turnover person. And that's what the vision and the goal is for this 1 year. That's what we want to do. Let's see what happens in the future. Global jana hai. We are planning to do that. We are working towards it. But abhi currently the only target is 100 crores. It's like a magnifying glass से देख रहे हैं कि 100 करोड़ ही पहुंचना और कुछ नहीं करना.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we've come to the end of the Q&A round. Thanks, sir, for such a knowledgeable session today.
Thank
I
you.
hope that this talk might have opened new doors in the entrepreneurial minds of the students that we have here. And it was great hosting you. Thanks for gracing us with your presence. This is Shrija off, and I'm going to now plan a visit to Amar Colony in Delhi, where I live with my mom. And I'll grab a coffee soon. So, and I hope that it scales up to your 100 crore vision that you have. All the best for it.
Thank you.
Now
Chalo, you wrote a great intro, yaar. If you can just send it across to me, I would love to read it out to my team.
Absolutely, sir. I'll send it across. I'll just take one more minute. Madhu, can you please take and give the thank you note to sir?
Sure. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. It was so amazing talking to you and listening to your answers. You are really a very approachable person and very kind one too. We loved your talking to you, and you gave us some really great insights on what are your visions and how we can build one. We have a lot of entrepreneurs in our degree, and we all want to do something unique because we are not that kind of person that want to have a 9-to-5 job and just stick to it as long as we can. We are trying to do something on our own, and your suggestions were very helpful to us. Thank you so much for joining us today, and it was absolutely amazing interacting to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It was a pleasure from my side to speak to you all. Hope to have such sessions again.
For sure. And I also want to thank your team and everyone who helped us organizing this session. IIT MBS and Srija, obviously, she managed to invite you, and we had a great talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
And especially thanks to Urmi also, because she was quite approachable. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi. Thank you so much for organizing this and cooperating with us. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, sir. We'll soon have you again. Looking forward to trying your coffee soon, very soon.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed the session and had a great time. Thank you, Srija.
Srija, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sure.
Actually, I am in the qualifier round, so I easily crack the graded assignment. मतलब मुझे उसमें तो दिक्कत नहीं आ रही है graded assignment में, तो आपको क्या लगता है, ग्रेडेड असाइनमेंट ज्यादा टफ रहते हैं क्वालिफायर्स?
पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस से आई थिंक ग्रेडेड को एज अ प्रैक्टिस मॉक टेस्ट ले सकते हो आप. एंड फॉर हाँ, like if you're preparing for the qualifier round, just do your first 4 weeks अच्छे से, and then you can proceed with your graded assignments as a mock, and go for it. Just be well prepared with all the topics and treat the graded assignment as a mock.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. So I think you all can leave the session now. Thank you so much for joining once again.
Okay, class. Okay.
Yeah. Kunal, do you wanna say something?
No, but just thank you all for attending. We'll organize more such sessions in the future.
Yes, for sure. Yes, for sure. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Bye bye. I'm Suman, long time, but bye. I'm right now.
Thank you all for
Bye.
asking great questions. Thank you, Anshuman, for asking great questions.
Arey, no problem.
Yes.
I'll grace you again in the future.
Surely. Thank you.
Okay. Kunal, do you want me and like the OC to stay back?
No. Just leave the session. So we'll close the recording.
Okay. Thank you so much. Last minute, everything happened. So thank you for that. Thank you, Madhu. She's still there. Okay. Thank you, Kunal.
Hello, bye. बोलेगा तब ना. हेलो बाय हेलो. अरे बाय छोड़.